Hello, here I am, still not having settled on my lighting in here. I am going to do a little experiment. That looks much better on my video camera than on the webcam. Hello, Megaleech, Justin, Abigail. Ugh. A big mic I'm using to nudge things around. Try this. Oh, wait, that is pointing this way. All right. Oh, it's weird. Anyway, oh nice, Justin had a COVID vaccination. That's good. I've got to do it. So do that. What's it doing? Slowly changing colors, but you can't really even see. Maybe if I decrease the brightness, actually. No, it's... It's blue. Yeah, it's the webcam doesn't really work with it. See, that's green. That's yellow. Oh yeah, that's sort of rose red color. Purple. Oh, I like that. I think I'm going to leave it on purple. It doesn't do much. But it's going to be better in video. Ugh. Also, I washed my hair today and it's been weird. I'm going to tie it back. Just tie the hair back. All right. Hoo-yah! Hypnocat. Do this a little bit. Look at that. All right. Now, there we go. Well, I literally don't have a choice about the color of the wall. Now, so the webcam, it's too big a difference. It looks much better on the video camera. We got one to test. I think I am actually going to get a second one. Then it can be that Hollywood style blue and orange. It's just the webcam can't really adjust to the differences in exposure, but it's actually a reasonably fun light. Just not so much for the webcam. I mean, if I could probably fuck around with a light and get a good thing. Justin, if Trump goes to prison, one would imagine. Well, I don't really see Trump going to prison, but one would imagine that he'd have rather extreme levels of protection. Yes. So the light's not for the webcam; it's for the video camera. So it's a live and learn thing. Still got to experiment with the lighting here. Yes. Yeah, I was testing it a bit earlier. I was going to make a video, and then I just realized I don't know what it is. I don't have good motivation tonight. I'll make some videos on Thursday, maybe. Tonight, I'm just gonna chill out, maybe have a drinky or two. I'll make an Easter weekend video, basically chocolate cocktails. I did come up with a couple chocolate cocktails. What the fuck is on this tripod? It's just... Oh, that's something on it. That's not the paint scratched off. That's something on it. Don't know what I did there. That's okay. It's okay. Actually, Dr. Abigail, like Helen left her vegan Baileys here. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But I might use that to make some creamy cocktails for Easter. It's creamy and chocolatey cocktails. So, just thinking, what would be another Easter theme besides chocolate? Obviously, it's only chocolate, but it's like, what other things would there be besides chocolate? You could have rabbit-flavored cocktails, or try and come up with a stigmata cocktail, a Jesus cocktail for Easter. Something like with, blood dripping through it. That wouldn't upset anyone. Oh, nice, just a new iPhone. Enjoy. I don't even remember when I get mine. It's probably at least one generation old, if not two. I tend to not get whatever the newest one is. When I get a new iPhone, the model's usually been on the market for at least a year. And then I end up forgetting how long I've had it. But yeah, also considering cameras I use in here, and possibly getting a new camera, possibly getting a new audio recorder. I haven't had a new camera in a long time. Haven't had a new audio recorder in a very long time. And I think it's playing up a bit, quite honestly. I got a little disc lamp there to bounce off the wall and highlight my face. You can sort of see it reflected in my glasses. And it's a bit harsh. I think I know where there's another one in the house that's maybe a bit more gentle. Still experimenting with lighting in here. I feel like I look very sepia toned at the moment, and I could fuck around with white balance, of course. I'm a bit less sepia toned. I'm way less sepia toned. Wow. The fuck is that? Then I'm orange. And I should stop fucking around. That's okay. I can't. Ugh. Hey, can I work it out, Captain? Ugh, I forgot to bring in my water glass. I'll probably go get that later. Hydrate after having a beverage or two. Just finishing off my clarified cocktail, which probably means I'll make another clarified cocktail tomorrow. Because that's a thing I do. Indeed, indeed. We shall see. I'm trying to remember something. Okay. Yeah, it's just like I did all these little projects and they're either half done or something went wrong and I have to redo them. I'm trying to remember what they are. Do something with the orange, try to make a new sweet and sour mix. The last one I mentioned on a previous stream, I fucked up because I forgot it was on the stove and it burnt. And so I was trying to be charitable and saying, "Oh, I caramelized it." Then I tasted it and go, "No, that's actually burnt." And it doesn't really work. Sometimes a burnt thing would work. Hey, Strictly Sega. Justin, iPhones give you as much privacy as Apple wants to allow you. Oh, yeah, Strictly Sega, it's not a haircut. I just tied my hair back because I washed it today and so it was all over the place. And I thought it looked weird. I looked like nothing against anyone who's sleeping rough, but I looked kind of homeless. How I felt anyway. No. Das Samar isn't in for doing the old different hairstyle. It's funny, as at work today, I went into the office. There was this sort of all staff thing, so I thought I would show my face. Hypnocat got a lot of positive comments today. People who didn't know me saying they liked the shirt. My boss actually said she thought I looked really corporate with my hair tied back rather than having my shaggy hair everywhere. And that was not my intention. It was literally just my hair was getting in my face. So I tied it back. That's me, Strictly Sega, suave as fuck. So, yes. So I don't have to go into the office for the rest of the week. Be working from home. And then a 4-day weekend. Woo-ha. Then 4 days next week, then another weekend. And in fact, then I think it's... Wait, how far off is Anzac Day? So, this weekend's Easter. Then I got a 4-day week. Then I have a 5-day week. Then I have a 3-day week because I'm taking the Monday off. Justin, you may be living in the past with that one. I know there were stories about that in the past. I don't know that it's going to depend what police, as in what law enforcement, and what the context is, I think. Actually, we're on the internet. Let's just see what comes up in a search. Oh, goodness me. Apple unlock phone for the police. What comes up when we search that? Has Apple unlocked phone for law enforcement? Oh, okay. I'm standing corrected here. Have they responded to... Has Apple unlocked... This is from the Apple website. Has Apple unlocked iPhones for law enforcement in the past? No. So... And some people are saying law enforcement can crack the encryption on iPhones anyway. So that's interesting. Apple's official policy is no. Apple and Google have refused to create a way for law enforcement to break it, arguing that criminals and authoritarian governments would exploit such a backdoor. Yes, so they're saying Apple and Google still refuse to help them, but in practical terms, people are saying they could probably do it anyway. That's interesting. Hellshade, hello. It's Rat Day. I like it. They call it in the United States Republican Day. Trick saying, in this day and age, you see 40-year-olds dressed as toddlers. Well, see, my shirts are wild and flamboyant. I actually wear these into the office when I go into the office, my cocktail shirts. They have a collar. They're button-up shirts with a collar. They're just very colourful and flamboyant. So I assume a bunch of people think I'm gay, but, you know. But that's okay. It's okay to think I'm gay. Strictly Sega, multiple media outlets are saying they believe it's not actually that difficult for cops to crack encryption on phones. So I don't know the intricate details, but there are multiple media outlets saying that they don't think it's too difficult for cops to crack encryption. I'm going to make myself a drink. I don't know. Justin, I mean, I don't tell people shit about myself at work. My immediate team, I have a female partner. Yeah, I don't tell people shit about my home life. I almost never socialize with people I work with. And that's not a reflection on the people I work with. That's just me. I have, in some occasions, socialized with people I work with. There are people I work with now who, you know, I'd be okay socializing with. I just don't, as a rule, do it. Separate home and work. All right, Dr. Abigail, I reckon you can crack phone encryption. You cracked Apple's hard drive encryption on their laptops. There you go. There are lots of tools at your disposal to do these things. Now, I have an idea. I'm going to make myself an old-fashioned variation with this. Archie Rose's barrel-aged honey spirit. The only question is, right, a strong whiskey, 56%. See, I had a little drink cart there and everything. I was going to make a video, and then I just I didn't bring my jigger in. What the fuck was I thinking? Didn't bring my jigger in. I'm going to have to excuse myself for, 60 seconds. I'll be back. I'm going to do this. Do that. It's actually doing. You see, you can't even really see that that's colors changing. Anyway, I'll be back in like literally a minute. All right. I mean, I could free pour my cocktail, but I don't like to do it. Yeah, no. I'm getting a bar. This was literally only temporary, but unfortunately the bar's maybe not arriving till next week. Might arrive this week, but maybe not till next week. Maybe not till late next week. Who knows? But I was going to make a video tonight, but yeah, I wasn't going to just go back there and make a video during the stream, but then I lost motivation. But I probably will on Thursday night and Friday night for that matter. Yeah, Justin. I mean, so like you say, some people are, have what's a good term? The stereotypical indicators of gender or sexuality, and some people just don't. And both are valid. And it's also valid if you have what could be called stereotypical identifiers of gender or sexuality, and that isn't actually your gender or sexuality, because fuck convention, man. You don't have to follow anything. Just, don't be a dickhead. All right, syrup. I should make some more of this syrup. Right, we are going to do this. Sorry, Justin, you're saying people would never know you're gay unless you're telling them. Just remind me, like, to do a version of a very very famous Onion article. Just imagining an Onion article headed, this guy whose dick I'm sucking has no idea I'm gay. And a dash of bitters. Yeah, what's the thing? It's not that society doesn't place pressures on people, and it's okay if you feel I don't know. Actually, I think I lost track what I was going to say there, but yes, if you're comfortable in your sexuality, that's good. Then it doesn't matter what people think. I mean, it's also reasonable to be uncomfortable if people are making judgments about your sexuality, because honestly, unless you're actually trying to have sex with them, whose fucking business is it? Justin, I think there's a fuck ton of people who come across as gay but are straight just because of, stereotypical Western ideas of masculinity being so fucking stereotypical. If you fall outside it, someone who's locked into those stereotypical ideas can leap to conclusions pretty goddamn fast. So, old-fashioned. Oh, yeah, man. Oh. That's some good shit. Yeah. You're right, Strictly Sega. Way to pigeonhole people. So I just reminded of an old Dave Chappelle sketch with stereotypes are a real time saver. Ugh. And sometimes they're correct. And sometimes they're not. And I mean, stereotypes are only bad if they're used in a punitive, judgmental way. It's just like, well, they can be relatively benign. I mean, some people still get upset about, Irish people on average drink more than most other countries, Mexican people on average like spicy food. Nice, Rabbit Game Fan. Yeah, I mean, I don't shy away from, cishet white male. I am what I am, as Popeye says. But yeah, trying to conform to a standard, because I know Like, I wasn't even joking when I said I'm sure there's probably people in the office who see me just casually walking around in these very bright and flamboyant shirts and either consciously or unconsciously go, he's probably gay. It doesn't bother me. It would only bother me if someone was a fucking jerk about it. But you know, it is. I think most of us, even people saying, "Well, I'm trying not to be judgmental. I'm trying not to be prejudiced." It is very difficult not to have sort of reflexive reactions to people. Oh yeah, no. Well, see, strictly Sega, I think masculinity is part of who I am. Like I said, cishet white male, but it's when someone else, I guess what I was meaning is when someone else has a definition or obsesses about what's inside or outside the definition of masculinity. It's just like, oh, fucking whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I like that, strictly Sega. Prefer to be responsible than masculine. Yeah. But it's just, yeah, I mean, there's the thing, like gender expression, identity, sexuality, including asexuality. These are all parts of who everybody is. And I think it's only a problem when other people are trying to force a definition on you and arguing, you can't call yourself masculine because you're wearing those flamboyant shirts. You can't call yourself masculine because you grew your hair longer. Now you've got it tied back in a ponytail. It's ridiculous. That's interesting, Justin. You have a boyfriend who's not that comfortable with it. Some people might guess it's not straight, but not something that matters. Yeah, the ideal thing is when you're surrounded by people or you surround yourself with people for whom it's not a big deal. It's like when, say, those couple of years on YouTube where I had a fairly big audience. What was that, 14 years ago? And I just get a lot of trolls, and they're like, "You gay?" And I said, "Well, do you want to suck my dick?" Because there's no point asking that question. What fucking effect does it have on your life unless you want to suck my dick? That says, if you are a woman and want to suck my dick, and so you'd be disappointed if I was gay. If you're a dude and want to suck my dick, so you'd be disappointed if I'm not gay. Otherwise, the question has no bearing on your life. So why are you such a fucking weirdo? And it's like the single most common thing. Oh, Christ. Okay, boring fuckwit who I don't think is going to last very long. Yeah, hey, dipshit, if you want to say anything, so like if you're any sort of COVID denying, anti-vaxxing, knuckle dragging fuckwit, you're boring as hell, and I'm not going to waste any time on you. Chris, hey, people paid a lot of well, again, because I was upsetting right wingers, and there's a reflexive thing against a lot of these internet troll types. They think gay is an actual genuine insult. Are you gay? It's like, who fucking cares? Hey, Alexander. Fun time to join the stream. Dr. Abigail. Mutation of words in Sindarin isn't often enough. Tolkien decided to have a singular and plural the. Wow, okay. I don't get it. Tolkien saw something difficult in European languages and said, let's make this harder. Well, again, linguists actually shit me up the wall, honestly. Oh, I like that, Heine. The band, the 1975, talk about being perceived as gay, but they say it's cool because we're friends. Why would it not be? Yeah. And Chris, a lot of people who want to dismiss what you're saying. Yeah, and again, yeah, there literally were those people that they think they come up with some generic insult for you that then invalidates what you say. It's very weird. Oh, yeah, no. Again, you can be the most innocent, positive thing on the internet, and you'll get weird, psychopathically hostile comments. It's very fucking weird. It's quite difficult to understand what's wrong with these people, quite honestly, because there's something fucking wrong with them. But it's just sad people. Like, sad, really pathetic fucking loser cockheads who create multiple YouTube accounts just to keep being a troll to people who've blocked them. It's like, it's genuinely fucking sad. Look, I can absolutely understand that. The sort of the random bullshit hate people come out with is pretty fucking surreal. Like, there is something deeply, genuinely wrong with these people, and in the abstract, I guess I can have a bit of pity for them, but in simple terms, I think, by the way, Dr. Abigail, it's not these sad trolls. It's one deeply pathetic loser fuckwit who has multiple accounts just to be a fuckwit. That is the depths of someone who is failing at life. Like, someone like that is genuinely embarrassing. It's like, oof. That's why I'm basically not acknowledging any of them, because it's just like, ugh, it's just deeply, genuinely embarrassing. So, Rabbit Game Fan, you had mixed feelings about being male fitting into stereotypical masculinity. Oh, okay. Your project is to become the most authentic version of yourself. Yes, and that can be a challenge. That can be a genuine challenge, no matter who you are, how you see yourself, how the world sees you. But because I think there's nothing wrong with wanting people to like you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to fit in. It's just, it can easily become really self-destructive. I think this is actually, I think this is genuinely a new fucking loser. So that one who wanted to say something about the American guy who was the face of their COVID campaign, Anthony Fauci, and I think he got triggered when I pointed out that I thought he was a piece of shit. So Chris is saying, weaken their personality. Yes, actually, people who can't countenance different political views because their identities tied up in it, and you see that more in, well, the American right wingers and people, sad fucks around the world who are influenced by American right wingers, they don't stand for any. And again, I don't mean conservatives, as much as I disagree with the tenets of conservative politics. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about these weird fucking freaks who seem to be dominating discourse in America, and they have their truly sad and pathetic imitators around the world. But like, they don't stand for anything. Like, the one they keep saying in America is they're doing it to own the libs, and it's like, do you have nothing positive in your life? It's really depressingly sad. Oh, Alexander, I'm assuming that one deeply sad, pathetic fucking loser actually has all these ones set up just because they go around being a fuckwit, and people generally block them because they're a fuckwit. And so they've created all these things just because they get blocked all the time because they are such a sad, pathetic fucking loser. Yeah, no, it does take a while to set up a new one, but yeah, it is, Alexander, it is hilariously sad. It's just, oh my God, it's just so fucking cringy and embarrassing that these people exist, quite honestly. It's just pathetic. So every game fan before you went through a trans phase. Well, I think, here's the thing. The world is complicated. Us as individuals are complicated. Or not. We're not all complicated. But understanding your identity is not necessarily a straight road. Again, some people, the cishet white men, get very lucky in that things actually are straightforward. Not without its difficulties, mind you, not without its challenges. But I like that, a significant number of people in the world now are more open and supportive of people whose self-expression is outside, like concepts of a gender binary. And I think I probably can turn them into trans lights, but like, they're literally, like, the package said, like, there are a million combinations. If you like, I've got a little remote control. Actually, I think there's probably a phone app that's easier to freaking play with than that. So actually, what's it called? Maybe I will look up if there's a phone app. See, Rabbit Game Fan, that's not that uncommon. There are so many pressures that it's not that uncommon for people to suppress parts of themselves. It's not always about gender or sexuality either. Sometimes it's ethnic or racial things. People feel pressure to behave in a certain way because, societal expectations or limitations. So feeling that you're suppressing part of yourself is not that unusual, because, I mean, there's a lot of pressure out there. So look at what this is called. Sorry, it's I'm looking. You can tell when your English language instructions was put together by someone where English wasn't their first language. Note: don't set it arbitrarily. Otherwise, the corresponding color will be changed, such as red to blue. If this remote control is out of control, check if it is locked or check its battery. I like the idea of a remote control being out of control. Remove the plastic film falling. Okay, there isn't actually a reference. Oh, here it is. There is actually a QR code. Oh, Alexander, the thing is to just ignore. Just ignore. It's just like, it's like really fucking sad. What's this? Juco Strip X. There we go. Ratings. 1 star. And 3 ratings, all 1 star. I might get it anyway. So, yes, Rabid Game Fan. I think we're dealing with a remote that rejects the idea of being controlled. That seems to be what's happening. Oh, having a coffee break. Well, thanks for dropping in on the coffee break, Alexander. I hope the day goes well for you. Oops, I didn't do the double click to install. There we go. We'll see what that is like. The 1 star reviews don't fill me with hope, but you know, whatever. All right, so, okay, use Bluetooth. Now, how do, no? How do I don't know. Style, music. Mic. Okay. Oh, look, mic control's on now. Okay. Cool. Strictly Sega mince. Well, obviously the answer's bolognese or chili. I love making chili and making burritos. They got to run out at some point, Dr. Abigail. Oh man, maybe I should keep the microphone control on. That's quite weird. It's kind of like the Dalek light goes on. Okay. Adjust. Is it still on mic? No, it's not still on mic. Ah, now it's working. Shepherd's pie is another good one. Well, that's a nice purple. Yeah, now I can just play with all those things. Style. What's that doing? My light's having a stroke. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Oh no, that's kind of crap. Ooh. Ooh, no, I'm going to leave it on that one for a while. See the thing going down the strip of it. We have possibly run out of the trolls. I actually think that was more than one. It's like some sad little fuckers on a Discord or something somewhere. But anyway, I appreciate that they collectively improved my YouTube experience by highlighting I should fucking block them. So thank you, sad little fucking dweebs. You've improved the quality of my life. Because it's always good to just cut out some sad fucking dweebs. It's almost like an unusual alien countdown. Each color is like counting down for a certain number of seconds. I think maybe their mum told them it's bedtime. But yeah, I think we've run out of them now. So hurrah. £20 for the king. It's a whole thing what the sad fucking trolls are doing. Oof. I suppose the other thing is, I could get a little ring light for here. I'm just thinking, because you get those little kits, because everyone sells these like influencer kits. It's like little tripods that you can put a phone on, and they have a little mini ring light. And it's usually adjustable in color and intensity. I get one of them for here. That's actually probably a good idea. Then I could adjust with both the brightness and the color. Finally settle on what lighting I have. Although I think this is okay. Having the reflections in my glasses is a little bit annoying, but I can live with it. Ooh, musical aviator off to national band championship in Newcastle. Nice. Oh God, you have to start at 10 a.m. That seems bad. That seems awful. My wall is beige, I guess. Yeah, it's beige. It's not white. It's off-white. It's a beige. I think it's beige. And we've got the wood panel wardrobes and the curtain and the bed. I'm trying to say, well, like, I want my bar to arrive, and I got to decide if I'm going to try and put this adjustable microphone thingy on the bar. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Only Young was Angry bought this, and then how does this work? I don't know. It's a whole thing. You like saying beige. Beige. We're being very beige. Yes. Is it cream white, off-white? It's I think it class. Well, you've been here, Dr. Abigail. I think you know what the colors are. I think it counts as beige. Eggshell color, maybe. I know, Justin. Isn't it weird? Like there were a couple of weird warning signs in the election campaign he had against John Howard, but I don't know. But here's the thing. I think Mark Latham is one of those guys who goes fucking off his trolley if he's rejected. So I don't know. If he had won the election, maybe his weird ego would have been less weird. I don't know. But I mean, he's a contemptible piece of scum. He's fucking vile. He is just the fucking worst. So who knows? Tricky second. The Club. Is that 70s film about Aussie rules? Film version of a David Williamson play? There was a lot of that instead, because David Williamson was a really big playwright on the Australian theatre scene in the 60s and 70s, and even into the 80s. And certainly in the 70s, a bunch of his plays were turned into films. So Derby, anytime you're in a room is chill out and decompress when you're overstimulated. But it's the same color as the lounge room. I'm pretty sure this is the same color as the lounge room. Oh, yes, Strixie. Yeah. That is a weird movie. I have not seen it for actually probably decades. I was going to say years. But it's a very weird movie that has some very funny stuff in it. It's very, very weird. So yes, I know. Just isn't it hilarious? The concept of, because Latham is in Parliament, he technically has the Honourable in front of his name is just ridiculous. But again, just so much of that posturing in politics is ridiculous fucking theatre. Peel and sticky labels off the bottle because I'm in a fidgety mood. No, look at that. They look like they want to come off. And I just haven't taken them off. You kind of, but look, I promise I'm pulling off the sticky labels. But say I'm rambling about this and you have no idea because I was doing it below the line of sight of the camera. Seeing all the sticky labels all put together. Now there were sticky labels on the neck, and I didn't like it. Aged in Moscatel casks to reveal notes of golden syrup, buttered toast, vanilla pudding, and chervil. What the fuck is chervil? Honestly. Sounds like it's somehow related to gerbil. Man, this is yummy. Cold distilled in a vacuum still. Let's say, second spirit in our two-part honey series, and the older sibling to Eau de Bee Honey Spirit. Honey Barrel celebrates the splendor of Beechworth Blue Gum honey and the diligence of the bees that create it. Fermented in our bespoke washback number 12 for 7 days, and then cold distilled. A selection of rich distillations was set apart from the unaged eau de bee for maturation in Moscatel casks at our Botany distillery. The result is a union of oak and honey with a melody of golden syrup, buttered toast, vanilla pudding, and chervil. I need to look up chervil. What the fuck is chervil? What is chervil? It's a plant. It looks like coriander. One of the 4 traditional French fine herbs, along with tarragon, chives, and parsley. Wowzers. Essential to French cooking. Sometimes called French parsley or garden chervil. Was formerly called myrrh due to its volatile oil with an aroma similar to the resinous substance myrrh. There you go. It's apparently very important to French cooking, and I've never heard of it before. Is there a substitute? Just substitute parsley or tarragon or a combination of the two. Yeah, it's a fucking herb, honestly. Yeah, Justin, I take exception to the use of functional in there. Right. I'm going to put these back. I actually want... It's funny, putting all these bottles here reminded me of things that... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's it in there. I want to try something I haven't tried for a while. Just to remind me of what it tastes like. Now, where is it hiding? It should not be hard to find. Okay, this is weird. Why can't I see it? I think I've done something silly. Where is it? I think I've done something silly. Did I accidentally put it with the whiskies? It was a Starward barrel-aged gin. Okay. I feel like I've done something silly. This is so weird. I just decided I wanted to taste something and I can't find it. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Seriously, what the fuck is going on here? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What's this? What is this? Oh, right. What's that? Alright. It should be here. This is the gin shelf. It is not there. What the fuck have I done? Seriously. No, that's whiskey. I'm oh, you can't get out. I'm behind the chair. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Well, this is absolutely surreal. That's absolutely weird that I cannot find the thing I was looking for. Very, very, very strange. And I do not, for a second, understand it. I mean, did I pick it up and put it down somewhere in the kitchen? Okay, this is genuinely doing my head in, by the way. It's very, very strange. I feel like I may have lost my marbles. I've lost barrel-aged gin, but possibly also my marbles. Wait, okay, maybe it's in here. It shouldn't be, but maybe it is. Don't think it's in there. Don't think it's in there. No. Seriously, what the actual fuck? This is seriously wrong. Stored whiskey, stored. I will solve this somehow. Wait, that's Hungarian oak. No, that's sticky toffee apple. God damn it. God damn it. Oh, it's right there. Jesus. Oh, I hate it when it's like boy blindness. I hate that. I hate that. It was right there all along. God damn. Okie doke. Sorry, I just randomly thought of something, which I'm just going to check. And that is the thing that didn't happen, so that's good. Right, and where's my phone? Sorry. Just checking something on the socials. Okay. Don't change the earth. Do. All right. Just trying to track a couple things, and it's all good. So, okay, this is what I was looking for. I've hardly had any of this. You can see the bottle's almost full, and I bought it fucking ages ago. Starward did a small batch barrel-aged gin. They never released gins. Black lime gin. Just for friends and family of Starward. I was on their mailing list, so I got to get it. Distillers have crafted a citrus-forward gin with black limes as the focal botanical, then aged it over 2 years in Starward whiskey barrels to develop an inimitable flavour for a profile. And when I was moving stuff, I thought, I've barely had this. I should have some more of this. Need to taste it, decide what it would be good in. I mean, maybe an old-fashioned. Do. I like to chill my gin. Holy shit, that's good. That is really fucking good. I see Saracen. Hello. Yes, new thing on the weekend. My offspring moved out, and Mrs. Angry and I took over their bedrooms. Mrs. Angry now has a Zen room, and I have the bar room. I think that wood paneling is very 70s. And honestly, maybe the curtain too. Oh, and I see Saracen. Seeing you haven't seen it, I'll just move out of the way. Check that shit out. Look at all the bottles. Oh, my drink cart's in the way because I was going to do some stuff. And all the liqueurs are in that cupboard. Still experimenting with the lighting in here. So, a gimlet. I think I need to make a gimlet with that gin. Lime juice and sugar syrup. A fruity sugar syrup. I've got some rhubarb sugar syrup I made. Yes, RGB lighting, although the webcam is not getting the nuance of it, it's flaring out. It's gonna look good in my videos shot on the video camera though. No, I don't have the bar yet, Safa. A bit disappointed. I might not get the bar till next week, which is frustrating me. So as an interim measure, I had a drink cart there. I was going to shoot some video and I didn't. Safa. Well, I never used work. I don't have a work. Sorry, I never used TikTok. I don't have a work phone. Yeah, well, this is HypnoCat. And again, just to show you all of it, HypnoCat with the colorful cocktails. I was in the office today wearing this. Got a lot of compliments. A lot of people like the shirt. But right, that is a mighty fine gin. I wonder what sort of martini it would make, actually. I'm not drinking any more alcohol tonight. Chris, thanks for dropping in, man, and take care. See you again sometime. So I'm not a big fan of winter. Like shorter days, more darkness, cold and wet. Not fond of any of those things. But different people, different seasons. I think I'm going to disappear for a minute. And again, that's literally, it'll only take me a minute. I want to get my water glass. I want to drink some water. As tempted as I am to try this in both a gimlet and a cock and a martini, I ain't drinking any more alcohol tonight. So if you're a late night person, I like in the middle of summer how it's sunny quite late. Is the toilet further away? Toilets are the same distance. In fact, there are 3 toilets in this house. I'm about the same distance from a toilet as I was in the kitchen, but it's a different toilet. I'm glad you needed to know that. Is this a job interview, Justin? You got Easter to prepare for it. Well, yeah, that's good. A bit more preparation. Anyway, I'm going to disappear for 60 seconds, less, while I get my water glass. Sorry, I was just thinking, man, I really need to get an animator to make me a video of a slowly decaying zombie that I can play when I go out. Oh, is that an expansion pack for Small Land? Because you told us about Small Land before. So this will literally take me 1 minute. I just got to walk up the hall. Fucking hell, the door's broken. I forgot that. Okay, I need to look at fixing that. Okay. Coming back. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so that was Grounded. This is a different game. Okay, cool. Strictly say the flashbacks when I went AIDSy mode on the giving myself an anima. I know. I don't know. Cheeky young Mr. Angry never told me the fucking doorknob was broken, but it is. It comes off sometimes. I have to find a way to fix it. But I always forget that it's like that till I'm here. It's like, I don't want to do it now. I'll try and work out how to do it now. Must be melting in that drink. I'm going to have some of my blood orange and sage soda water. Let me get proper grip on it. Okay. Not very close to the microphone, but a little bit of ASMR there. Thanks. So, all right. I'm just going to look at this and it's like it comes off. How the fuck? Okay, so these things screw in. What the fuck? Okay. Ugh, super annoying. I probably shouldn't glue that in place, but I might. Just when you're still living with your mum, you got trapped in the room because the handle was broken. Yeah, well, this one comes right off, but I can put it back in. I'm mildly tempted to glue it because, fuck the landlord. Although someone did recently, I did see someone point out online the term landlord and landlady are gendered, and that can be counterproductive. So we should just use the term land bastard. Just imagining the weird randomness of my landlord flicking through YouTube and just, I recognize that's my tenant. Wait, what did he say about me? Redunculous. Oh well. So, kind of like I have, I don't have unlimited room to put things. Now, I have lots of room though. So I was dangerous because for anyone who remembers the setup in last room, 2 drink carts. So that's one of my drink carts there. 3 shelves. And so that frame there, which has got 4 shelves, that's everything that was on the 2 drink carts. And I had recently moved the liqueurs that have been on there, and they're all in the cupboard. So yeah. Oh, I've had that problem. I had that problem with a front door in a house. The door latch wouldn't open, which is bad on your front door, quite honestly. Not good, not great. Is it not great? Get the Hilltop Hoods song stuck in my head. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking. That's mighty thoughtful. I'm good. I'm pretty good, but not great. How are you? Because I'm kind of awful. Song about 2020 and COVID and the lockdowns. I have no idea if the microphone picked that up, but a fucking possum just galloped through the roof. That's amazing. Justin, it would be bad to get stuck somewhere when you live on your own. It's just every now and then. I did get stuck in a toilet at a public pool when I was a kid. I fell in. Not joking. Big porcelain toilet, little kid trying to sit on it, and I slipped and fell in and I was stuck. And someone had to get me out. That was embarrassing. But do you ever think like I've had like costumes that are like, big zip up costume, and then you go to get out of them and you can't unzip it and you can't get your shoulder. This has happened to me a couple of times. I mean, obviously I have eventually got out, but I've had this moment where I felt like I can't get out of this, like I'm trapped. It won't open enough for me to get my shoulders out. And you just get the beginnings of a panic attack coming in because I'm stuck in this costume / jumpsuit and I will never get out of it. Going to die in here, or slightly less serious but more time sensitive, like I'm in the toilet and I need to piss and I can't get out of this thing. I am just going to piss myself. That didn't happen either, but it's close. I fear we're in danger of getting into a very weird area of conversation, which I'm going to try and avoid getting into. Let's see what's in the news. Haven't done that tonight. Sure, thanks, Google. So Trump's showed up for his arraignment. Jacinda Ardern wants to tackle online extremism after politics. Reserve rate decided not to raise interest. Reserve Bank chose not to raise interest rates. Fine. Just looking. No, that's too depressing. I'm not going to talk about depressing news. No, that's also depressing. Ooh, TAFE students' data stolen in data breaches. So many data breaches. How can we keep up with them? Teens lead police on wild chase through Brighton. Teens will do that. Sorry, I feel like this. I'm going to. Oh, an e-bike bought on Facebook. The battery blew up. Yeah. Dodgy batteries will do that. Mercenary Mage, hello, how are you? I don't think we have a mugshot yet, and I don't know if they're going to release one. I'm just going to look for things on Trump. I seriously want to inflict something bad on media outlets who obsess about British royal family. It upsets me a lot. Like a hell of a lot. Okay, this is weird. Leonardo DiCaprio testifies for prosecution at Fuji rapper Press at the trial of Fuji rapper Press Michael. He's accused of participating in a global campaign finance conspiracy funded by Zhou Lo, a Malaysian businessman who allegedly stole billions from a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund. DiCaprio reportedly testified to the grand jury. He's not accused of any wrongdoing. DiCaprio testified for about an hour on his relationship with Lo in a bid by prosecutors to show that Lo used stolen money to curry favor with actors, models, and politicians. At the risk of asking a stupid question, what do you do for a living? Prosecutor Nicole Lockhart said to DiCaprio. I'm an actor, DiCaprio responded. DiCaprio said he met Michael in the 1990s after attending a Fugees concert. Well, that's a weird one that I hadn't heard of. Good. Glad you're chilling. I'm chilling. I'm chilling too. Just had a couple of boobies. Now I'm being super responsible and having some soda water. Because that's me. I'm responsible. So, Justin, Liberals using same tactics as Republicans. Yes. And it may or may not work for Republicans in the US, but it's increasingly looking like it doesn't work for the Tories in Australia, which is nice. And it's increasingly funny watching the Tories tying themselves in knots and the various pundits saying the mind-blowingly ridiculous thing like, oh, you're losing elections because you're too woke, you're not hard right enough. And it's just like, you people are being paid to say that. That disturbs me, that you are being paid to say something so patently stupid. Okay. What is it saying about Trump? What does the ABC say about Trump? Trump arrives New York ahead of arraignment as supporters and protesters gather outside Trump Tower. Ensconced in his New York City skyscraper, the warrior spent his last night free of formal charges. So tomorrow, our time, which will be Tuesday in New York, you'll make the journey downtown to the city's arraignment court, become the first president to face criminal charges in the history of the United States. Arrived from Florida via private jet. Tourists were trying to squeeze past. New York was trying to get out of their business. A Long Island man who calls himself Freedom Jeffrey set up his live stream, watched his followers. Where is it? In a city as large and as liberal as New York City, Marnie Halassa cut a lonely figure dressed as a money-covered devil holding a sign suggesting Donald Trump knows where to go. Time to go you know where. Okay. So, Trump's going to be arraigned tomorrow. This is interesting. There'll be no live footage or photographs allowed once proceedings are underway. Reporters will not be allowed to bring electronics into the courtroom. 5 photographers will be allowed into the jury box before the arraignment begins. Charges are expected to be made public immediately after the arraignment. Once he's been arraigned, Trump is expected to fly back to Florida, where he'll hold a press conference at Mar-a-Lago. They're referring to Marjorie Taylor Greene as conservative hardliner and Trump supporter. Raving fucking lunatic who makes Trump seem normal. Marjorie Taylor Greene. New York City police have been fortifying the city against unrest. Joe Biden was asked if he thought there'd be unrest in New York. He said, no, I have faith in the New York Police Department. Well, that's not great, having faith in the New York Police Department, quite honestly. Ooh, Abigail's going on an important orange juice walk. Yeah, that was my favorite bit of trivia about the by-election on the weekend. It's the first time in 100 years a seat held by the opposition was lost to the government in a by-election. Because by-elections usually don't favor the sitting government. Goes to show how fucked the Liberals are. That was a fun, and also the Liberals that had held that seat since 1990 or something. They're fucking up. They are fucking up. Ugh. I'm thinking of making an old-fashioned variation, not tonight, on Thursday or Friday night. Before I get there, I'm going to call it the Big Four, because most people, when they think old-fashioned, think of whiskey-based old-fashioned, but technically the recipe for an old-fashioned is a spirit, like any spirit, sugar and bitters, and water, but that's from the ice that you stir it on. Although depending how you make it, you can add some water. And so I was thinking of one where there's a split of the four most popular spirits, namely whiskey, rum, tequila, and brandy. And just a split of those and call it the Big Four old-fashioned, just to see what it's like. Justin, sorry, Circus Sega. There is an overwhelming view that Scott Morrison is going to resign from Parliament, maybe not sit through this session of Parliament, which would call for another by-election. It's less likely the Liberals would lose his seat, but they might. Justin, the next federal election will be I don't think so. It would be funny if it was. I don't really have much doubt that Labor will win the next federal election. Like, Labor would have to fuck up catastrophically somehow in this term to not win the next election. Whether they have an increase or decrease majority, I'm not predicting at this point. I would bet against them pummeling the Liberals like what happened in WA. I would very much bet against that. I wouldn't rule out them increasing their majority. But I mean, I would regard them having a win like in the WA election as unlikely as the LNP winning the next election. I'd rate those both as... Sorry, put me on. I'd rate those both as extremely unlikely outcomes. Both possible, just extremely unlikely. So for what's NAC? National Anti-Corruption Commission? Have Labor actually put in legislation for a federal anti-corruption commission? I haven't been paying attention. So I'm not even sure if they've actually put in legislation for a National Anti-Corruption Commission. Oh, Justin, I was really fucking hoping Dutton would lose his seat at the last election. I was incredibly disappointed when he didn't. I thought it was a very real chance that he could lose it at the last election, and then he didn't. And that made me a little bit sad. Only a little bit, because I was very happy because Labor won conclusively. I was just going to give up. Like, seriously, I almost gave up when the LNP won the previous election, when they definitely shouldn't have. If they had won this most recent federal election, I would have fucking given up. I would have just gone, oh, no, I give up. This country's fucked. But it was a good result. It was very exciting. Yeah, pretty much. Well, there are two things that could have made it better. Dutton losing his seat, which I thought was going to happen at one point, and Morrison losing his seat, which was never likely, but not impossible. Oh. So it's just a mild dampener, because in the early count, it looked like Dutton was going to lose his seat, but then he came back. So that was disappointing, but only a little bit disappointing. And it's funny with a recent thing like the Liberals getting fucking smacked in this by-election. People saying, "Oh, Peter Dutton's leadership's under pressure." I don't think it is. Like, I stick by the theory I put forward at the last election when Dutton was made leader. I feel like everybody in the country, apart from Peter Dutton, knows he is electoral poison. And I feel the whole thing with making him leader after that crushing loss, it was literally a case of, okay, well, we're fucked, and we are definitely going to lose the next election as well. And Dutton is obsessed with he should be leader. So you know what? Let him lead us into an election loss, because we are going to lose the next election no matter who's in charge. So let Dutton lead us into the next election and lose, and then we get rid of him, and then an ambitious person steps up, because then there's a chance to beat Labor at the election after that. So that was my thinking, and I hold to it. So when I see these things about, oh, Dutton's leadership's under pressure after that Aston by-election, I kind of don't think so. I think any Liberal who moved against him would be a goddamn idiot, because they're just going to lose the next election. Kevy Mate on the Twitters, what did I say Twitters? Twitch. Promise of 30,000 housing. Okay. I think Labor's promise about public housing is a good one. I don't know what your source for 800,000 immigrants is. So I don't feel able to comment on that, because that's not a number I've heard. I have obviously heard of Labor's promise about public housing, which I think is good. The other part, I don't know a source on that, so I don't feel able to comment on it. I did miss I never watch those ABC politics shows. Shit me. I mean, not as much as the politics on any other channel. That'd be worse, but the ABC stuff fucking annoys me. I almost never watch it. Safa, yes, you're a millennial. Yeah, and Justin, and it's very funny watching the LNP go like, oh, everyone under 40 is a huge majority of everyone under 40 is saying, fuck no, I'm not voting for the LNP. And that's like consistent. And I hope the Liberals keep listening to the pundits who say they need to be more conservative, be more hard right. So, yeah. Let me have, okay, Kevin, mate, just to back out, I'm just going to do a search on Australia planned migrant intake. What comes up if I search that? Beyond this year, the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry recommend planned permanent migration should be increased to 265,000. Yeah, no, Home Affairs. Okay, so it is about 200,000. The Australian Chamber of Commerce, who I don't trust their reason, they say it should be higher. So yeah, Kevy, mate, the actual official thing is 200,000 a year. I mean, Labor's thing is they want a plan in place that would, if I remember correctly, and it was only an idea, an aspirational thing, they wanted to put in place a structure that would ultimately build 1 million homes, but I don't think that's real. I think that's a politician thing. again, Kevin, mate, the annual is less than 200,000. So 3-year period would be less than 600,000. And it sounded like you were talking about 1 year before. That's just me misunderstanding what you said. So, yeah, Labor had this long-term plan for 1 million houses. But again, I think that's not a real thing. I think that's politician bullshit. Well, see, here's the thing, Kev. I think that's a really complex question about mainly the migration is believed to be a net improvement to Australia's economic performance. I don't feel qualified to state whether that's going to work or be a good or bad thing. But what's interesting is you're worried about Labor's plan. The extremely conservative Chamber of Commerce wants more migrants. Now, here, my personal view is their reason for wanting significantly more migrants in is literally to drive down wages. They are not to be trusted. And also to have cheap labor. No, that's actually the same thing. What am I talking about? So you get the Chamber of Commerce saying they want even more migrants because they believe that gives them cheap labor. So just millennials are bucking the trend, not becoming more conservative. Oh, yeah, look, that could be the case. I would just be a little bit cautious because the baby boomers in the 60s were sure they were the peace, love, and wonder generation, and they'd get rid of the boring old people, and the boomers turned into a bunch of fucks. Obviously, not all of them, just the really loud, vocal, public ones. And I'm part of Gen X, and Gen X was sort of radical and whatnot, but you just see really fucking gross conservative Gen X people as well. So I think there is some evidence that it's a bit less each generation. I think Gen X is less conservative than boomers. I think the millennials are less conservative than Gen X. And I think the Zoomers are less conservative again. But, you know, who the fuck knows? Things could change. I think I've heard a statistic like that, Safa. More than half Australians have at least either they or one of their parents was born overseas. I think I've heard something like that overseas. Well, it's just like, Justin, the only way the millennials are going to get anything is if their parents and or grandparents die and leave them. It's the only way they're going to get a house. It's fucking bullshit. I think I mentioned this on another stream, but because we had a. I'm renting this place. It's a 5-bedroom house. Or we use one of the bedrooms for an office. But it's basically a 5-bedroom house, or 4 bedrooms and a study. And yeah, so the offspring move out. I know some people might have thought, oh, you're going to downsize to save money. I looked, it would cost us more to move into a smaller place than to stay here because of how fucked the market is at the moment. So we ain't moving. We're just spreading out and taking over the extra space. Kev, sharing some good news. You've become a first home buyer. Good for you. Good for you. Yes, you'll be less angry at house prices and more angry at rate rises. Be less angry? Maybe less Gary as well. Who knows? I knew what you meant. So, well, that is also a question, Safa, about outer space for new houses. There are obvious ways. Where do you get new houses? More sprawling suburbs on the fringe of the city, country towns, or replace standalone houses with medium or even high density housing. So like townhouses or apartment blocks. it's a difficult balancing act. I think there are a lot of policies in Australia that are shit. Notably, I don't think there should be any tax breaks for property investment. The whole negative gearing and all the various other ridiculous fucking tax breaks for owning multiple properties, they shouldn't exist. They're toxic. But I don't know. You just get ridiculous bullshit happening, and it starts to feel like, well, it's just like set up the gallows and the guillotine and the stocks in the public square. That's what's coming. Micro, hey, you doing, buddy? Good morning to you. See, so okay, you're worried about your country town, Safa. Out near where I grew up, and I forget what the town was, but it was a very small town. Like the original population was only a couple thousand people. But then a mine, I think it was a copper mine, but some sort of mine opened near the town and employed brought in a lot of people. Like they needed people who knew mining. They all came in and property prices skyrocketed, and all the people in the town were selling their house for like 4 times more than they thought they'd ever get for it. But it weirdly sort of fucked up the town. Marco got a new car, rental car. You model your car, so you hate your car more. Damn. Gave you plenty of room Wagga way. I'm trying to remember what the town was. I think it was Narrabri. It was not far from Dubbo. But it was like a really small town, and this mine opened, and so everyone working at the mine wanted somewhere to stay, and so they started buying up houses. So, like, this is like a shit little town where no one's buying a house, so property values were shit, and they like quadrupled, and I think it fucked up the town basically. So for this this was in the last 10 years, I think. I'm seeing how good my Google Foo is. Country town housing became unaffordable because of mine. What shows up? Kilburn. No, it's just generally the housing crisis. Narrabri. Yeah. Regional towns riding high on a rare boom. Wait, when's this from? 2022. If you're a young person, you're laughing your head off. You don't even need to apply for a job. People are chasing you. Real estate agents have watched in amazement as Gunnedar's residential property surged past 900,000 to approach 1 million. Again, when I grew up for a country town, the idea of houses going for $1 million in a country town is fucking off the wall. That's ridiculous. Oh, nice. Dr. Abigail secured some orange juice. Nice. Yeah, so okay, that's interesting, Kev. You're in the country. Max rent was 180 a week. Able to save heaps. That's actually becoming less and less the case. Like I said, that some of these places where mines open, the properties are expensive as a capital city. Fucking changed. I actually have fresh squeezed orange juice in the fridge because I had some oranges. I'm going to use it for a syrup. I'll probably make in the next couple of days. So, yeah, it is super fun. I even remember, when I was at uni in Bathurst, rents in the town were more expensive than average for a country town just because of the uni students. They're probably the fucking same as Sydney now, quite honestly. It just kept getting worse year on year. And anyway, I think it was the last place I lived in. There was a really big house. Like it was like oh god, I think it was 7 bedrooms. It was fucking huge. There was a whole bunch of us living in there. But I remember the people who owned the house were from Sydney. And I don't know why they came down. They came down doing an inspection or something. I had some friends with them. And their friends said some ridiculous fucking thing about, oh, you only pay this much rent. Oh, a house like this in Sydney, you'd pay this much. And I just, because it was the landlord, I didn't say anything. I just barely bit my tongue. Because what I was going to say is, this is a country town, you yuppie fuck, not Sydney. Fuck off. God damn. Sorry, I love that. Okay, from New York, 7:47 a.m. Trump is going to sleep till noon. Apparently, he's going to, I don't know, he's going to rock up to the court sometime in the morning. The arraignment probably isn't till the afternoon. So shit will be happening when I wake up because I'm going to go to bed in 10 minutes. And by the time I wake up in the morning, shit will have happened. I'll know what he was actually charged with. And then he's probably just fucked off back to Florida. Because they ain't going to hold him or anything like that. Oh, Jesus. Suffer. Sydney houses in the fucking outer suburbs are about 1.5 million. Yeah, I'd hesitate to guess. You want to go suburb by suburb, average house prices are. So you go like in a Sydney, like average house price in Paddington, 3 million. That the median price in Paddington in Sydney is 3 million for a house, 1 million for units. So it depends. What about Parramatta? Average house price in Parramatta, 1.3 million. So there you go. You go out into the suburbs. Go out into the suburbs and it's 1.3 million. Find a shithole at Hornsby for 1.5 million. Yep. What was that? Sorry. Dr. Abigail, despite going to sleep midnight, waking 9, struggling to stay awake during the day. Yeah, I see. Yeah, nocturnal might be your default. Micro, we're slowly getting there. We are at the medicinal marijuana stage. And if you remember how it went in the US, there's a big struggle to get medicinal marijuana legalized. Then it became legalized. And then it became a bit of a joke where there were doctors who wanted to retire whose entire practice was just writing marijuana prescriptions. And then it progressively became legalized in more and more states. So Australia's at the very early stage. We're getting limited medicinal marijuana being legal. I think we'll probably go through the same things where it becomes a bit of a joke to get a medicinal marijuana prescription, and which then ultimately lets people go, oh God, let's just fucking legalize it. Justin, housing prices in Canberra. Average house price, Canberra. Saying 1 million. So there you go. Canberra is cheaper than Sydney, as I would expect. So, yeah, a bit over $1 million in Canberra. I'm going to look at Hornsby, seeing you mentioned it. Yeah, 1.5 million for a median in Hornsby. Perth is okay. Perth's one of the places that used to be cheap, and I don't think it is anymore. 892,000. So there you go. A bit cheaper than Canberra. But Jesus, probably only, 20 years ago, the median was actually in the year 2000. Yeah. Okay. I thought I was exaggerating. In 2001, the median house price was $170,000. So in 20 years, the median house price in Perth has gone from under 200,000 to almost $1 million. And that's mostly because of the mining boom. There you go. Yeah, I thought Perth had just a really obscene increase. Oh, Micro, what aren't they mining in WA? They mine all sorts of things. Iron ore, other precious metals, coal. A shit ton of mining happens in Western Australia. So, yeah, there was just a huge amount of money since the 90s in WA. So if you want to, while we're on a roll, why not? What's Darwin? I'm assuming Darwin's going to be much cheaper. $540,000. Yes, that's what I thought. 540,000. Now, just for fun, I'm going to go Dubbo. So Dubbo is as expensive as Darwin. And we did mention Wagga Wagga. 650,000 in Wagga Wagga. So there you go. Wagga Wagga is about 20% more expensive than Dubbo. Why is Wagga Wagga so expensive? Justin, median rent in Sydney. That's interesting. That doesn't sound right at all. Average rent in Australia in 2023. Sydney's median is 630. Melbourne's median is 460. Brisbane's median is 530. I don't think this is accurate. They're saying Brisbane is much more expensive than Melbourne, saying Adelaide is more expensive than Melbourne. Perth is more expensive than Melbourne. Hobart is much more expensive than Melbourne. Darwin is much more expensive than Melbourne. ACT is saying ACT is the most expensive place to rent. $670 a week medium house rent. That doesn't sound right. That just doesn't sound right. I feel like someone is posting inaccurate statistics on the internet. So we're talking about the race crowds, Tricky Sega. He worked as a bartender. They were the worst. Look, I went to uni in Bathurst. There's a racetrack in the town. The bogans who went to the car races were the fucking worst. They're an absolute fucking nightmare. The media used to talk up the bike races, motorcycle races, which happened in Easter. Sorry, blanked. The motorcycle races happened in Easter, and the media used to talk up how wild that was. They didn't cause any problems in the town. The fucking bogans for the car races were the fucking worst. So, Justin, you 430 for one bedroom. That's pretty fucking harsh, dude. That's rather extreme. Okay, so that's weird. So they were saying that, like, purchase prices were about what I expected, but that website that listed rental prices just seemed all wrong to me. I could be wrong. I could easily be wrong. Who am I to suggest someone would publish inaccurate statistics on the internet? That's a pretty radical call to say someone would tell you stuff that's not true on the internet. I'm going to round out by having a cherry. It's tricky to say. So many families are finding it really difficult at the moment. I'm just hearing so many nightmare stories. Yeah, it's just capitalism, man. It's fucked. It's the short version of why we're having problems. A system that rewards speculation and exploitation is just inherently fucked. And we need to rein it in a bit. Just rein it in. Like, do not reward rampant, abusive, speculative behavior as much as we do. It's quite ridiculous, the extent to which we reward really destructive behavior. I have to admit, I don't know why this app for my light is so badly rated. Doesn't seem terrible. I wouldn't give it 1 star. Put it on microphone, and the light goes in time with my voice, 'cause I'm a Dalek. What do I want to do? Adjust. That's probably the color I want. I'm like, as we play with it, probably want a color like that. What's that? It's just green. So I'm just gradually changing. That's kind of neat. Now it just went to black. Now it's purple. I'm just going to fiddle with this. Yes, strictly saying, there was there is a minor delay in, and I suppose that's just how long it takes the signal to reach and how long it takes the control in it to react. But that could be kind of neat if you were playing music or something, I guess. But I'm gonna go to bed now. Raise was up just in time to say good night because I am going to bed, and I'll see you fine folk another time. And I'm probably going to play with this lighting a bit more because I feel like it's a bit weird still. We'll see what I can come up with. But you fine folk, take care. We'll see you another time. I'm going to say bye for now.